Good evening, everyone. You are now tuning in to Sistah Teatime podcast. Thank you, and I welcome you all. So today I have a special guest. I want to respect his privacy. He's not going to be on video with me, but today's topic is the hidden scars of bullying. Pregnant pause. The reason why I titled Hidden Scars is because a lot of times we feel as adults that we're not bullied. And so I know a lot of times for me, I'm not saying that it's right, but I was kind of like a vigilante, so to speak. I was the type of person that I'm going to go toe to toe with the bully because I feel like it's wrong, it's disrespectful, and I didn't want people picking on my friends. So today I have my very own son with me today, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions. This is live, raw, and uncut. So, why do you think people bully people? And this is my son, Demarion. I want to respect his privacy. He didn't want to be on camera. You got to speak up, son, so they can hear you.
Why do I think people bully other people?
Yes.
Perhaps it's because maybe they don't have the kind of support team that the other person has. Maybe that's the reason why they think they should pick on that person, is maybe they think if they do that, maybe they'll feel more better about themselves.
Okay. So there's no right or wrong answer to that. For you being a teenager, you're 16, you're in high school. Do you see other people getting bullied? And if so, do you say something about it? Because my motto is see something, say something. Now, let's be clear. We're not talking about snitching. That's the code of the streets. I feel like when it has something to do with children, elderly, humanity, people, speaking up for the least of these, that is what you call see something, say something. So, for example, if you see somebody getting bullied at your school, would you say something?
Of course, yeah, I would say something.
Okay. And what would that be like? Because here again, you don't want to get yourself in a confrontation where it causes a lot of discord, but seeing something and saying something. So does that mean that you would say like, hey, don't do that? Or, your tone, how would you?
I guess I would just go get I would get an adult supervision. I would go get an adult to handle the situation, because if I didn't want to cause an altercation, I would just get an adult to get in between it so they could stop it to the full point.
Okay. Have you ever experienced bullying?
No,
I'm going to correct you. So,
I've never experienced bullying, so
okay.
I don't I don't want my business on your podcast. I'm gonna keep it like that. I've
Okay.
never experienced no bullying.
Okay. So we're going to respect that. Clock that T. No worries. But I just want to reiterate that bullying isn't necessary. I'm going to beat you up at 3:00. Give me your lunch money.
I will say this.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. As you're saying that, if I were hypothetically, if I was being bullied by somebody, I would rather choose to go tell an adult so they can handle the situation rather than me handle the situation. Because if I think on rather past choices, I feel like I probably chose the wrong kind of choice. I felt like if I didn't choose my hands rather than my words, I would have rather used my words than my hands.
Okay. So meaning that you rather adult deal with the situation because pretty much you would put hands on the person.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. The reason why I'm speaking on this topic today, because I think a lot of times us as parents, adults, teachers, administrators, we don't know the signs. Like for example, you check in with your kid after school, they say it's okay. And I think a lot of times us as parents, we are kind of asleep, y'all. We not woke. I mean, our kids are dealing with a lot. A lot of times we think because they're kids, they don't stress, they don't get anxious, they don't get overwhelmed. They're dealing with a lot today in this day and age. A lot of kids are being bullied because of the way they look, their sexual orientation, maybe the way they talk, maybe have a physical disability. All these things are, yes, bullying. And so it is very imperative to check in with your children. I know in a minute our kids are going back to school. What does that look like? Does your school have a bullying or no bullying policy? And if so, what's in it? You have the right as a parent, a caregiver, to say to the principals and administrators of your school, hey, I need to see what the no bullying policy is. Here again, you make the difference. Here again, some of our kids are bullies because either they see it in the homes. And it's so crazy how the perpetrator, the person that's picking and bullying on the person, is the victim. Now the victim becomes the perpetrator. True story, no names mentioned. This is a near and dear personal issue that has affected my own family. I'm not going to get all into detail. The people that know me and know us, they know the story. But the reason why I'm talking about bullying, because it's been in my own family. Okay? Yes. A lot of times, a lot of you say, oh, I'm not going to say nothing or whatever the case. You don't know what you would do if your child, your niece, your nephew were being bullied. Bullying is a sense of control. It's not just necessarily, getting beat up on. Bullying is like another kid comes and wants to sit down. No, you can't sit here. I'll be your friend if you do my test for me. You're not cool enough. You can't hang with us. You act too feminine. You not my bro. You acting feminine, sissified. All of those things, yes, are considered bullying, cyberbullying. We have a lot of that going on. I think when people find out and really know the definition of bullying, a lot of us unintentionally as adults. So I don't want to take up a lot of time, but the last question that I have for my son is, when you're getting ready to go into the 11th grade, what are some key points that you want to convey to the audience about just being aware of bullying and how we can eradicate it? Eradicate means get rid of it.
I feel the said is for parents to keep a more better eye on their children and see the more patterns, because it's very easy and visible to tell when a child is in such a prominent situation and mentally in a bad situation. And then it's also it takes two to tango, so it's like it has to be fall on the parent and the school, because they both teach the policy and they both taught the student how to become a bully.
Mm.
So it's like they have to figure out a better way to teach their child not how to bully a person, but to better that person.
Well, I have a question for you too, because I think a lot of times parents, and I'm a parent, we can't say things like, do what I say, not as I do. So, for example, you have a parent at a basketball game, and your parent is because I'm going to be honest, y'all, some of y'all parents be getting real irate. It's a game. Well, you may have some parents that get so upset that because their child's team didn't win, now they want to cause confusion. They want to cause a fight, or they pump their son or daughter up to go punch another kid. I think we as parents have a due diligence to train our children. I believe a lot of the behaviors are stemmed from the homes, what we watch on TV, and just our environment in general. So on that note, I don't know, son, do you have anything else to say as far as some advice? I know you said to check in with the principal. Like you said, if you see something, you're going to say something. You would address it to the supervisor instead of putting your hands on people. I agree. What else could we share with the audience in
The
regards
only
to bullying?
advice I can give for parents and to my kids is like, for parents, you really can't. I'm not saying you can't help your child, but it's also like you just can't automatically know when your child's in like a situation. What I'm trying to say is like there's no easy way to ask your child if they're being bullied or not. So it's
Mhm.
like you have to find a way out and figure out a way to like ask them in a way to the point where it's not like you're trying to get in their business when you're just trying to help them and trying to see what's going on. And then for kids and like students, it's like when people say things to you or like you can't take it to heart for real. You can't take it to heart for real because it's like what they're saying to you is probably what somebody else said to them. So it's like they really don't understand the words they're saying.
So do you believe that hurt people hurt people? So for example, I come to school every day. I'm going to just play out a scenario. And, I'm upset because, unfortunately, my parents may can't afford the new J's or, have me look presentable. So I get mad at, Sarah because, her hair is cute and, she's like the cool kid. And, I come up to her and, want to, pull her hair every day. That's a form of bullying, right?
Yeah.
I'm really upset. I'm really jealous, and I'm really angry because my parents may not be able to afford what her parents, oh, you think you all that. You think you better than me because you got this and this. That's a form of bullying, right? Okay, this is another scenario. So how about you and your friends? I know you're in the 11th grade, so a lot of times I know 11th graders don't kick it with ninth graders because these are the younger kids. They're coming in. Is that true or no?
No.
Okay.
A lot of people hang out with other people too.
Okay. I know when I was coming up, when we were in order, we like, oh, we not hanging out with them. So to sum it up in a nutshell, I think it's just best to always check in with your children. For example, if you know that your child is extroverted, giddy, and then all of a sudden you see that diminishing, it's like, okay, what's going on? And even if they say they're okay, find out from the teachers because here again, you teachers have a responsibility. If you have, discrimination or, hate crimes or whatever going on, because this goes on, y'all, at the schools. The administrators, I'm calling you out. Principals, I'm calling you out. Your teachers, don't just say kids will be kids. It's a lot that goes on in them bathrooms. You need to, come on, check it out. Bullying to me, this is my opinion, is really a cry from the perpetrator that's basically saying they need help. And they're victimizing someone because they don't feel good about themselves. Or like I said, a lot of times children act out on what they see, the examples that they have in their life. I don't profess to be an expert, but I do know that even as children get older, I'm 54. I still remember the names, and I will not disclose them, of the bullies that I fought in elementary school. Yeah, I might not have won all fights, but I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for what's right. I'm going to fight for those that I feel that are being ridiculed and belittled because of the way they look, the way they dress. And like I said, this is a very, very strong feeling that I have to the point where I'm serious. I have to pray and ask God to help me because I don't want to use the word hate. And I always am on the side of the victim. But now I'm learning too, even the perpetrator, the person that is doing the harm to the victim, they need help. So I wanted to come on here and I wanted to have a conversation with my very own child to maybe convey a message for our youth. See something, say something. Don't get yourself in a discord or an argument with someone else that is bullying. If you need to, go to the principal. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when we send our kids to school, our principals, our campus security, all have a responsibility to keep our kids safe. So on that note, I just want to say this. School is starting back. Like I said before, parents, caregivers, you need to know all the logistics of if there is a no bullying policy. I started a no bullying campaign petition. And it's only crazy till it happens. But I believe that if I get enough signatures that this could be instituted into a law. I don't know about you guys, but statistics shows that victims have committed suicide, anxiety, all kind of, I'll say, abnormalities from their normal behavior because they're fearful, they're afraid, they feel like they're threatened, they feel like they don't have any way out. And this is personal to me. And nobody knows what that is unless you've experienced it yourself. Get in your kids' business. I know we got teenagers and they like, oh, you don't have no business. Even when they on these phones and the internet, because there's somebody on the other side that could be cyberbullying them. We don't know. I would hate for any parent, caregiver to experience what we've experienced. Thank God there was light at the end of the tunnel. But this situation that occurred in our family could have went totally left. So I'm going to continue to have conversations about this because I know we go to work and we get busy, but our kids, our grandkids, they always show signs, y'all. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. So I thank you, everybody, for your time. I thank you for my listeners. And I would love to hear your thoughts. I have a suggestion box. I have comments on YouTube where you can comment in. I would love to hear your thoughts. So until we meet again, I leave peace, love, happiness. And guess what? Happiness is not in a person. It is a choice. Peace. We out of here. Take care.